Right, hello there everyone, welcome back to James Redmond TV and welcome to what we like to call the Redmond Rounds. Or people, we have got some stuff to talk about and I'm not going to lie to you. Some of it's shocking, but it's not really shocking to me though. And I'll tell you why it's not really shocking to me. I mean, we've got to talk about the Champions League, you know, the quarterfinals of the Champions League as well as the quarterfinals of the Europa League. I suppose we can touch on that because madness happens in the Europa League if you've been living underneath a rock because, mate, don't get me wrong, this is what European football is for. It's for these little surprising moments, which we don't expect coming, but because we're football junkies, we want them moments, we crave them moments, and sometimes the storylines are just a bit too beautiful, and that's a great thing to talk about, and that's why I want to talk about them. But before we do talk about, like, Liverpool drawing Real Madrid, for example, and stuff like that, and by the way, thank you for sticking on the channel, because I know I haven't uploaded for a few days and whatnot, but just trying to come up with new ideas, as I always am. But hey, yo, we're here, we're back with the content. Smash a like and become a member of the Redmond's Army if you wish. But now I want to talk about Trent not making the England squad, the England call-up. Never got asked to basically play these next few fixtures, which I believe is taking place against like San Marino and a couple of other sides. I can't remember. It might be Austria or something like that. I can't remember. That being said, is the squad that we've gone with, and when I say we, I mean England. And even though, because some of you might not know my stance on England, and let me know what you're like and whether you're like a massive supportive fan of England and whatnot. But for me, I think it's one of them things where I want England to win more so than other teams, but there's not that emotional attachment with England like there is with Liverpool. With Liverpool, if we lose, I can't sleep. If we draw, I can't sleep. And I'm fuming, and it's probably going to ruin my week, to be dead honest with you. Whereas England, if they draw or lose, especially a friendly, I'm not going to give two shiny shites. But I'll want you to win more than the other teams. Does that make any sense? So I'm not a passionate England fan, but I'm a fan nonetheless, I suppose. That being said, here's the defenders that England have decided to take onto this trip. And the reason why it's relevant is because obviously the Euros is round the corner, and obviously Trent is going to have one eye on them Euros, and to not be selected for this and for what is not massive games is going to be concerning for him. So I'll tell you these defenders, and I'll tell you what Gareth Southgate said and whatnot. But here's what I'm seeing. Ben Chilwell, sound. Connor Cody, fair play. Do you know what? Happy for a fellow Scouser. Eric Dyer. Eric fucking Dyer. You're choosing Eric Dyer. Okay, let's just move on dead quick. Reece James, fair enough, absolutely fine. Harry Maguire, Tyrone Mings, Luke Shaw, John Stones, Kieran Trippier, and Kyle Walker. So realistically, and as England like to go with a back three, Kyle Walker there is a centre-back. So the centre-backs there is Kyle Walker, Harry Maguire. Again, you would expect Harry Maguire to be there. Tyrone Mings, some people will have a question on that. I'm fine with it, but don't get me wrong, I don't know if I would have a Tyrone Mings above a Michael Keane, for example. I don't feel like that should be the case there, but again, let me know in the comments down below. As for full-back choices, we've got Kieran Trippier and we've got Reece James. Realistically, obviously we've got Luke Shaw for the left back, got Ben Chilwell for the left back, but for right backs we've got Kieran Trippier and we've got Reece James, which is sound. Should Trent go above any of them? Some will debate. For me, I think he's better than both. For me, defensively, I don't think he's better than either. So this is where we start to kind of question, how do England want to play and what does Gareth Southgate kind of want? Gareth Southgate came out and basically was saying, just the same old bollocks, like, I don't think Trent has been in great form this season. Mate, just put it on a fucking plate. You don't like the way Trent is because the way you fucking play. Gareth Southgate doesn't want Trent in his system because of the way Trent plays. He's a bit too offensive for Gareth Southgate and the way he wants to play. Gareth Southgate is not someone who wants to play fluent, amazing, high pressing, high attacking football with the fullbacks bursting forward. He doesn't want that. He doesn't mind attacking fullbacks, but you need to have it's not even that Trent is a bad defender. I don't think he's a bad defender. I just feel like people compare his defensive attributes to his attacking attributes, and because he's pretty much the best attacker in the world in that position, and he's very, very good at what he does, people just seem to assume, like, oh, well, his defensive play is shit. No, it's not. It's average, and you've got to bear in mind, it's one of them things where he's young, and he also has a lot of different partners, and again, not trying to make excuses, these are just facts. You can disagree with me and whatnot, and that's, again, sweet, because this is the channel to do it. If you want to disagree with me, fucking do so, because I'm certainly not right about everything. That being said, when it comes to Trent, I feel like it's unfair to say he's a terrible defender, and that's the thing about this case. Now, does he go to the Euros? I don't know if he goes to the Euros. But does it surprise me? Is the number one question? No. It doesn't surprise me one bit. I even said a few weeks ago as well, it doesn't surprise me if Gareth Southgate favours most right-backs to Trent. It doesn't surprise me if he favours Wan-Bissaka to Trent, because Wan-Bissaka's just much better at the defensive things. And that's, like I said, just the way he wants England to play. He wants two defensive midfielders. He's probably going to play fucking... If Henderson was available, he'll probably play Henderson and Declan Rice instead of Declan Rice and Mason Mount in a two-man midfield. And then he'll play Luke Shaw or Ben Chilwell left-back. He'll play Kieran Trippier or Reece James right-back. And then he'll have that back three of probably John Stones, Harry Maguire and Kyle Walker. So it doesn't surprise me that he's not gone with Trent. But I see a lot of Liverpool fans getting like offended. And boys, don't be arsed. It's fucking Gareth Southgate. Don't be offended. If this was like a proper manager, like an Arsene Wenger, then yeah, we can take a little bit of offence to it, because an Arsene Wenger, respectable manager, and if he's seeing something that doesn't make him want to choose Trent, then get out the forks. That being said, this is Gareth fucking Southgate. Do you hear what I mean? You don't worry about what Gareth Southgate, he's that type of... He's that teacher. Do you know, like in an exam? Gareth Southgate is that teacher in an exam where they walk in and you know they're there to do no job other than basically fucking annoy you. It's like as if their higher ups, their peers has gone to them, just go round, talk to the kids, help them out, ask if they need help, and they come fucking asking round and they just come whispering in your ear like this, do you need any help on your test, this, that and the other. Do you know what I mean? No, lads, like, get out me fucking ear and let me do me test, man. There's no two shits about it, so I don't care. I've never rated Gareth Southgate. I don't think he's going to do any better, what will be a fantastic England squad with great options. But let me know what you think in the comments down below, people, because, like I said, this is an interesting one to look out for. And before we get into talking about the Real Madrid draw and obviously the other ties that happens in the quarterfinals of both the Champions League and Europa League, I just want to let you know about a conversation that we had very recently on Triple H Sport. It was a very good conversation about Thomas Tuchel and his reign so far at Chelsea. Very interesting. Full link in the description. Here's a clip.
So I'm going to come straight to you. From the outside looking in, do you think that Abramovich made the right call in pulling the trigger on Lampard?
Unfortunately, you have to say yes. And when I say unfortunately...
What are you talking about?
Unfortunately, I have to say for you, because... You know, I think the style of play has improved. You're not leaking goals like a tap anymore. You haven't hit the heights where you can where you're creating loads of chances and doing what you need to be doing yet. But already I can see his idea, and you're difficult to beat. And I can see building platforms there. And he's got the experience. Like if we really want to get into the qualities, Tuchel has proved it. Like, I didn't agree that Lampard should have got sacked at that time. I would have kept him in. But you're asking me, now we've seen Tuchel and what he's done with the side, I don't think it's been too bad. And I think he can build on that. He's got to get the best out of the players that had started off flopping. It wasn't great. We're still waiting for that to click into gear. But I just as an outsider, if you were asking me which one would I put my money on to be a bit more of a success, I would say the Tuchel one, because, or however you say it now. I just call him Audi TT.
So that's the video from 888 Sport. Make sure that you click the top link in the description for the full discussion, because it was a belter. Anyway, I want to talk about Liverpool and the fact that we got Real Madrid in the quarterfinals. Now, here's the way I look at it. Is Real Madrid the best choice we could have got there? No, it weren't. Let's just be real. It weren't the best choice that we could have got, because they're not the easiest team out of that selection. The selection being Porto, Chelsea, Dortmund, City, Bayern Munich and PSG. and then also Real Madrid. I feel like that was probably, and it's not that Real Madrid are an easy team by any stretch of the imagination, but if we played Real Madrid last year, it's a very different game for both teams. Liverpool were better, Real Madrid were better, we both dropped off a little bit, we both haven't quite got the same quality for different reasons per se. That being said, we still haven't got the same pizzazz, the same attack and power that we usually do. And really, when you look at Liverpool's strengths and you look at Real Madrid's strengths, and obviously the game is happening in weeks' time, so we have to be cautious of that. Players can get, injured in that space of time. But from the knowledge of what we know right now, this could be a very interesting game for many reasons. And I want to ask you the question, who's the underdog? Who is the underdog for this fixture? Because when you actually think about it and you put it into context, Liverpool have won the Champions League more recently. That being said, a year before we won the Champions League, Real Madrid beat us to get the Champions League. And how mad's this as well? When we drew Real Madrid, when I was watching the live draw and we got Real Madrid, I was thinking to myself, oh my God, we're going to have to play Cristiano Ronaldo. Because I associate him that much with Real Madrid, even though he's been at Juventus for the best part of 2 seasons. Do you know what I mean, mate? It's one of them things where, I just thought that was a bit of a mad thing to say. That being said, Real Madrid are not that same team when Ronaldo was there. They have got a very different setup now. They've got Vinicius Jr., yeah, very good young player, can cause us problems, but hasn't been in great form. The players who I worry about is players like Karim Benzema, someone who, a proper, proven striker at all levels, been doing it season in, season out, and he seems to be flourishing nicely with age. I'm not saying he's getting better, I'm not saying he's the best striker in the world or anything like that, but he is up there. He's been up there for years. He's been underrated for years, and it's going to be an interesting game. Hopefully Yin and Yang, aka Kabak and Nat Phillips, can stay fit, because it's one of them things where I feel like, we can have something brewing there if they have just a bit more game time between now and then. But Benzema against fucking Van Dijk and Matip is even a problem, so it doesn't matter who's going to be at the back line, but hopefully we'll have all of our players fit. That's an interesting draw. Like I said, I wouldn't have wanted, for example, the only real easier teams we could have got is Porto and Dortmund, realistically. Maybe I'm wrong, let me know who you would have preferred. But when you think about it, you don't want any part of Man City. You certainly don't want any part of Chelsea, because even if you're going to get a draw against Chelsea, you're not going to win, because they don't concede goals. So if a team doesn't concede goals, how do you expect to beat them? Especially when we're not in the greatest attacking form going. So that's one thing that you have to take into serious consideration. And even touching on the 888 video that I put in before about Thomas Tuchel, he's just brought that factor to Chelsea now where they just do look unbeatable for many different reasons. And one of them reasons, and one of them main reasons, is he can change a system. And when you watch Chelsea right now, or at least I think, this isn't even like their finished product. And they're just kind of sailing through this season, getting through it, doing what they need to do, get top 4, maybe win the Champions League, because they very well could. They can beat Porto very easily. Porto, congratulations for what you've done against Juventus. Absolute cojones on man like 38-year-old Pepe. Just saying fuck you to Ronaldo like there's no tomorrow. I'm 38 and I am still a savage. That is what Pepe was in that game. He was a savage, mate. He was unreal. The one thing I will say, and the one thing I will dispute, is Chelsea are just a different level to Juventus, especially this season. There's no doubt about it. In terms of the manager they've got, in terms of even the players they've got, different levels. So I feel like Chelsea are going to go through that one comfortably. Man City drew Dortmund. You do expect Man City, but never underestimate the Erling to the Haaland, because, mate, Erling Haaland may just be able to single. He's that type of player that can win you a game by himself. So writing off Dortmund completely would be silly. They've still got Sancho who can create. They've still got Hazard who can create. They've still got Haaland who can fucking score goals for days. And this is his competition. He does amazing in the Bundesliga, but Haaland especially in the Champions League, is just different gravy, mate. But I do expect City to go through that leg. I'm just saying, don't write off Dortmund. There was even leaks saying we were going to get Dortmund, and I didn't like it, because I would be worried about Haaland more so than any other striker, besides maybe Lewandowski. Speaking of Lewandowski, Bayern Munich drew PSG, which is also going to be a very saucy game. Obviously a repeat ×2 of the final that we got last year. Very interesting there. Probably would edge Bayern, not going to lie, especially over 2 legs. Don't dispute that PSG. With Neymar, he'll hopefully, for PSG at least, be back for that game. Mbappe and whatnot. But you will favour Bayern Munich for sure. And then obviously you've got us versus Real Madrid. So that's very, very interesting. Let me know who you think is going to win them games. I feel like the closest fixture, some would say Bayern Munich and PSG. I feel like the closest fixture is actually us and Real Madrid in terms of head-to-head. But like I said, times might change there. I'm not going to give a prediction yet because it's too far away. But anyway, Europa League quarter-final draw. So, the quarter-final draw was Granada versus Manchester United. Sound. I mean, no offence to any Granada fans. But who plays for Granada? How many good players have Granada got, realistically? Like, you know, when we're just putting it into context, are they even, like, that good of a team? And I'm not trying to write them off in any way, shape or form. Fair play. You got to the friggin' quarterfinals and whatnot. But let's have a look at this. In the table, I'm having a look at the La Liga table, if you're wondering why I'm looking at this direct. The 8th. Man United should really whitewash these. It really depends on whether they've got any star play. Yeah, they've got Soldado. Soldado's about 50 years of age. So what the fuck's Soldado going to do against what has been? Whatever you think about Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, that's fine. Obviously, Man United getting that great win against AC Milan did what they needed to do. AC Milan had all these players back. But what was the difference between United and AC Milan? That isn't Paul Pogba. It was actually the defence and how they are set up and how astute that defence is of Man United. They don't concede goals, man. That's another reason why I think they're going to go through and could be favourites to even win the whole damn thing, even though that's not what Ole Gunnar Solskjaer typically does, and I don't think he will. But I feel like if you're going to bet your money on it, maybe the smart area to go in based on what we're seeing is Man United. But the other fixtures is Arsenal versus Slavia Prague. Slavia Prague obviously knocking out Rangers. I'm Devo, mate. I want some Rangers to win the whole damn thing. Imagine that. A fucking Scottish League win and a Europa League win in Gerrard's second full season as a manager. Would have been absolute scenes. But still, though, to get to a round of 16, unbelievable job from Steven Gerrard. Especially when you think about, like, Celtic and their recent spells in the Champions League and the Europa League. It's just, even though they were impressive and they were, like, in the league, I mean, in Europa and Champions League, Celtic could never compete. They barely get into the competition. So, you've got to put respect on it there. But Slavia Prague, they were just a better team over the 2 legs, no doubt. There was obviously the incident in the second leg as well, which Steven Gerrard, I felt like he handled, as always, with class. But yeah, that'll be an interesting game there. I do feel like Arsenal will be the favourites. Arsenal obviously went through also. Ajax versus Roma. Saucy game. I feel like the winner of that could very well be the winner of the Europa League, but again, you're asking for a lot. And then Dynamo Zagreb versus Villarreal. Again, 2 teams that could possibly go all the way, especially if Dynamo Zagreb play the way they did against Spurs in whoever against they play. Mate, Orsic. I found out earlier on Rancher's stream that Orsic, who scored the ones of goals against Tottenham, was actually a former Barcelona graduate. But mate, them goals came out of nowhere. Like, and we're talking about a team that's from Croatia. Mate. Like, what's going on with Jose Mourinho and what's going on with that? But the thing is, though, people will blame Jose Mourinho, and I'm not the biggest Mourinho fan. But if you're going to blame a manager for not being able to beat a Farmers team, who, by the way, their manager has just been sacked. I mean, not sacked, bloody hell. That would sound marvellous for what's happened to him. He's been nicked. He's been sent to jug. He's in prison, basically, for people who don't understand my slang and terminology. For, like, fraud or whatever the fuck it was, he's in jug for 4 years. He's literally just beat you from a prison cell. That being said, you would expect Harry Kane, Lamella, Bale, Dele Alli, who started the game with a 2-0 advantage, by the way. You would expect them to get the job over the line against friggin' Dynamo Zagreb. Like, you just would. That's a new low for Tottenham. Even for Tottenham, that's a new low. And it is what it is. It's kind of, you know, these things do happen. On, if you ask me, Dynamo Zagreb, they're not even favourites to win the whole damn thing. But with a player like that who can create moments out of nothing, why not, mate? Why not? Villarreal, obviously a very good side as well. But like I said, my favourites would most likely be Man United if I was to pick a winner. That being said, people, that's the end of today's Redmond Roundup. I'm going to try and make this Redmond Roundup a more regular thing because I always do these like announcements at the end of the videos, don't I? But I'm trying to basically do it so I have a set content for each week because I want to start committing to a proper schedule now. Let you know when videos are going to be out. You know, obviously I'll add little things here and there throughout the weeks. That being said, so let me give you a brief of where my brain's going to be with when the videos are going to be posted. So Redmond Roundups, these type of videos is going to be daily. So daily means either every day or I might like have a day rest in that week. So between Monday and Sunday, I might have a day rest and the rest I'll upload. That being said, live streams, obviously watch-alongs and whatnot, they'll be on match days. But then Mondays and Fridays, there will be the football roundup at 1 o'clock on both of them and the LFC talk show at 9 p.m. UK time. On both of them days as well, so keep an eye out on that. People, thank you for the continuous support. I think we're on 36 point something subscribers. I don't know, yous are crazy. So just thank you for showing the continuous love. 36,000 members strong in the Redmond's army. So yeah, just thank you. Leave a like, subscribe if you enjoyed this video. Get interactive in the comments down below, and thank you for watching. Have a good one.